Hey everyone, this is Imro from Camel Tech. On this video, I'm going to discuss with you today 6 tools to create SOP, documentation, or knowledge base. 2 ways you can create SOPs or documentation or knowledge base using AI. Some recommendations to improve your SOP adoption rate, and some strategies so you can generate SOP, documentation, or knowledge base faster. The goal for today's video is very simple. We want to make sure this video becomes the last video on SOP for you, so you don't need to watch any other videos or take in any other lessons on how to create and manage SOP. So all of the things that you need to know about SOP, how to create them faster, how to use AI to generate them, and how to make sure the team uses them every single time will be shown here. Now, before we dive in, just for some people who do not know what SOP is, I just want to spend a few minutes to discuss that. SOP is a documentation or written piece on a step-by-step process of doing something. It can be a doc, it can be a checklist, or it can be a flowchart, something that shows the step-by-step procedures to accomplish something every single time in the right way. That's SOP. And if we give an example, you want to prepare a cup of tea. You list down all the steps needed to take to make a cup of tea in the right way. And you ask all of your family members to follow these steps from the list precisely. First, they have to get the ingredients. They have to boil water, prepare the mug, pour the water, and stir the tea. They now follow the same process like you and prepare a cup of tea the same way every single time, maintaining similar taste and quality. That's SOP. Now, let's explore what's the difference between SOP, knowledge base, and documentation. Even though sometimes they look similar, there's a slight difference. SOP is a step-based instruction on how to perform a task in the right way. Knowledge base is a resource hub of your company that contains company mission, vision, values, FAQs, troubleshooting, and also SOP. Documentation is more of a technical guide in software companies. When they build something, they write documentation on what has been done, what's the steps they have taken to do that, what were the considerations they have made. On this video, we will focus more on SOP and a few things on the knowledge base. But the idea that we're sharing on this video is applicable for SOP knowledge base and documentation. Now I'm going to dive into 6 tools for creating and managing SOP knowledge base or documentation. So the first one is Tettra. There are 2 types of tools for creating and managing SOP. One is a dedicated SOP platform built just to create and manage your SOP. And the other type is project management or task management platform, which helps you manage your tasks, your projects, as well as your SOPs and documentation. So Tettra falls in the first category. It's a dedicated SOP and knowledge management platform. It helps you to create your SOP knowledge base or documentation and stores them and tracks team's activity and who is following those SOPs. Inside Tettra, you can create different categories. Categories are like your departments, marketing, sales, support department. And inside that, you can create SOP knowledge base. For example, if we go to sales, you can see all of your SOPs, questions asked to you, links. If you click here, you can ask a question to an expert team member, create a page for knowledge base or SOP, add a link, add a document, and many more. The way they have prepared the platform is that there are some expert team members in your company who know a certain topic better than anyone else. Ask a question is a feature to seek their advice and then convert it to ASOP. You can ask a question, then assign someone who you believe knows the answer. And if he answers that, it'll be stored as an FAQ or SOP for your team. Good thing is they integrate with Slack. So you can ask questions right from the Slack channel, get notified when someone answers them. The AI also crawls the Slack conversation and prepares answers for you. You can come to the Tettra portal and see if you are assigned any question, you can answer them. This is the question and that's the answer. You can have your knowledge management platform where you can see your contents. Then if you want to create some documentation, the way you do that is you click here, create a new page, give a page title like how to create a case study, and then you add your text like this. You can embed an image or a video, then you publish the page and it's visible to everyone. So that's how you create your SOPs and knowledge base using Tettra. Tettra is not very cheap. You have to have at least 10 people in the company, or you have to purchase at least 10 seats, which will be $50 per month for the basic one. And for scaling one, it will be $100. The next tool that we are going to talk about is Trainual. Trainual is a platform which helps you to create and manage your SOP. Also, it helps you to create training. Like if you have any employees joining in the company, you have to train them on certain subjects. You can train them on core values. You can train them on client onboarding. So you can create your training module on Trainual and track the progress, how your employees are following that. And once those training sessions are done, you have SOP on the platform. Once someone performs a task following a step-by-step process from the SOP, you can check that record and track it. Then within content, where you store your SOP company wiki, policies and procedures. This is company-wise wiki or knowledge base, then policies, and then processes. You can import doc, you can view different templates from here too. If you want to create something, you can just come here and create different groups, subject, and import documents. Subject is like a folder which will have processes, policies, or procedures. For example, you can write the subject name here, Chris case study. This is my subject, this is the process. Now click on create subject. Then the topic title, how to create case study, then it will show my steps. For example, my first step is analyze project. Then my second step is write intro. Next, I can go in and add content like talk to PM and gather info. I can go here and I can write my item here. I can add text, I can add image, I can add many things like record video, compose. You can do lots of stuff from here. And once things are done, you go back and you publish that. It will be then published. That's how you create SOP, and you can see all of the contents in one single place using Trainual. If someone follows that SOP to perform some task, you can see that report from here, like how many SOPs are being followed by. You can see it from here. You can check your adaptation rate of SOP, and you can take action based on that. That's all about Trainual. It's a bit expensive. If I go monthly, it's almost $300. For small businesses, this is a bit huge. I need to have 1 to 25 employees. Even though it doesn't matter how many employees I have, I just have to pay $300 for the first tier. And if I go for medium plan, it's almost 350, and for growth, it's for almost 500. So it's a bit expensive, as you can see, but I believe people find value in it. These two are dedicated platforms for creating and managing your SOP. We are now going to discuss task management platforms that help you create SOP and maintain them. The first one is ClickUp and is our favorite one. In ClickUp, they have a documentation system. You can create doc. You can just click here and start creating doc. So as you can see, I have my SOP right here. So what you can do is in ClickUp, you have spaces, then folders. Under each folder, you can create lists for managing tasks, docs, forms, dashboards, whiteboards. You can also bring items from templates or import from different other apps. There are different ways of creating and managing SOP on ClickUp or similar tools. For example, you can create all the doc in one single place. So this is SOP repository. If I can show you, this is SOP folder and you have SOP doc. All of these SOPs are in one single place like this. And we maintain a template to create SOP. There is a structure like what it is for scope, stages, or steps. Then you can add stages, you can add scope, you can add steps, you can add images, videos. It's very rich and interactive. That's how you create and maintain SOP using ClickUp Doc. If you convert them to wiki, what happens is that the AI is trained based on this SOP. So once you ask something to ClickUp AI, it searches through all those wikis and answers based on them. It's very helpful for your team. Now, this is one way of doing SOP on ClickUp. Second way is creating tasks in a list view. You can create tasks for SOP and add SOP owner. These are the tasks for SOP. You can then link SOP doc, add SOP status. What happens is that this is a task for photography SOP, and this is linked with SOP document. The way it works is I can come here, add doc. I can say photography SOP from this list, which came from this SOP doc. I can choose it like that. Now, if I click here, I can just read it like this. So why do we do task-based SOP? We have owner, and if some SOP needs updating, how do we remind those owners? If it's on document, we cannot assign someone or remind someone. What happens is you have some automation running here. If you say this SOP needs an update or it needs review, via automation, this owner will be notified here. It asks the SOP owner to review the SOP and shows the name of SOP. The owner receives a notification, and once he goes here at the top, he will see a notification like this. Then he comes in and checks this and updates the SOP. That's why we do task-wise SOP. It's so easy to manage SOP status, for example, which SOP needs an update or which SOP is in revision. We can say them from this. This is another way of managing SOP. Now, how do you make sure your SOPs are being followed by the team? There are some ways to do that. Let me show you. If we go into client onboarding, what happens is there are two ways to manage the entire onboarding task. This is one way of making sure your SOPs are being utilized by the team members. Second way is when you create a task, add SOP for it inside the task. For example, this is a task handoff from sales to project team. And there's an SOP on how someone does this task. This SOP is added in the task description. And we also have added the doc below. So that if the SOP is updated on the doc, we can make sure someone has the visibility to check it. And there should be a monthly audit to keep all SOPs up to date. This is a responsibility of the SOP owner or ops manager. Now, why is this good? This is good because while someone is working on this task, he can just hover over this and he can read the SOP and start doing the task. You don't need to click anywhere. You just hover over it. It will pop up and you can perform the task. This is very useful, very easy. Every time someone is working on this task, you can be 100% sure he's going to watch the SOP and work in that direction. Our intention is not just to make SOP, but to make sure the SOP is being followed by the team members. That's what we have said our goal is here. Now, some tips and recommendations. We want to ensure that the team is going to use the SOP every single time they are doing the task. How to do that? We have to make it easier for them to track the SOP so they can see it without going back and forth anywhere, any places, and they can just come here, hover over it, and see the SOP and perform the task. Now, imagine if you have SOPs in Google Doc, if the task has been tracked in Excel sheet or ClickUp, it is very chaotic and you can imagine your team is not following the SOPs. Now, if we go to Notion, let me show how to manage SOP in Notion. In Notion, you can do similar stuff. You can create an SOP repository. This is Notion database and these are items or tasks. So you can create in this fashion. This is the database. You can have the owner of the SOP, when to use the SOP, duration meaning how much time it takes to perform the task, department frequency like that. You can also see the SOP department-wise view like this. Then if you go inside, you can read the SOP. This is the procedure of the SOP. You can add, this is the template, so you can add your steps here. This is the step name, and there's a detailed description that you need to follow to do the task. You can also add image, video, or file. That's one way of managing and creating SOP repository using Notion. This is one way of doing that. Why is this good? This is good because when you have a task tracker, you can link your SOP right here. We have created a related view here and we have added the SOP here. For example, if I say client onboarding and I can just link here client onboarding SOP. This is so easy. If I am now going to perform this task, I can just click this, look at it, read it, and perform the task while seeing the SOP. This is very easy. And also I have the assignee due date. So I know if something needs to be updated, I can ask this person to update the SOP. You can also create SOP differently. For example, you can create doc, write SOP just in plain doc here. And you can also create a page and start writing SOP, client onboarding like this. And you can have SOP template, which can be duplicated each time and then create new SOP or documentation. There's a structure for this. You can just come here, press 3 dots, duplicate and make changes to the template to create a new SOP. Now, if you want to build a knowledge base, you can do something like this. But this way of creating knowledge base is not very scalable. You can see SOP here. There are just 2 SOP items. If you have 10, 20, 50 SOPs, it's not going to look very pretty here. So we have to do it differently. But just to show you, you can create a knowledge base also in Notion. So that's how we create and manage SOP in Notion. My suggestion would be to create SOP as a database because you can link tasks with SOP. If you create doc, it's difficult to link a doc with a task. That's why it's better to create database-wise. Now, if you go to monday.com, you can also create SOP on Monday. On Monday, what you can do is that you create a folder like this. This is the folder. You can name it SOP, and under this, you can create SOP doc. This is the folder, and in the folder, you can create doc and bring it under this folder, and then you can just go in and create SOP and start writing. That's one way of doing this. Second way is you can create a task. You can create like this task, and you can create doc or Monday doc, and here you can start creating your SOP. And this can be your Camel Tech SOP, and task would be your SOP name, which you can name as client onboarding for now. You can just start working from here. So this is one way of managing SOP. The problem is you have to work a lot to relate this task to other fields. For example, client onboarding. These are SOP tasks. Now, if someone is working somewhere else on SOP tasks, you have to make sure you create a related field and relate this task to that task, and make sure you bring this doc also along with this task so it's visible there. That's how you make sure the task has SOP doc along with that, and they can just click on that doc and read the SOP and perform the task. Otherwise, what will happen is they have to come back every time to the SOP, look for it and go back and do the task, and they will be demotivated and they will use SOP less and less. That's how you use Monday.com to create and manage SOP and let the team use that. Now we will discuss 2 AI tips to create SOP. First one is Loom AI. We'll discuss how to generate SOP documentation or knowledge base faster using Loom AI. Second one is how to create SOP using other AI tools. How to create SOP faster. One way is to let the AI take control of your SOP. What you can do is you can just record a video with Loom. You can use the Loom free version for shorter videos. If your videos are longer, you can just record with any other recorder. ClickUp has their own video recording platform. You can see I'm recording the video right now with ClickUp. It doesn't have any time limit. You can just record the video there. Then if you have ClickUp AI, you can have the transcript right there, and you can copy it and paste it on ChatGPT and ask you to create SOP. If you don't have ClickUp AI in your subscription, what you can do is you can download the video first, upload the video on some tools to get the transcription, and then use AI to create SOP based on that. If you use just Loom, record a video, it has a transcription. You can just copy it and go to ChatGPT and ask it to create a standard operating procedure SOP, and it will start creating SOP based on your transcript. You can just copy it, make a draft, and revise and publish it. And if you have a Loom subscription, you'll have the option to create SOP right there. There's an option in Loom, so you can just click it, and they will create ASOP by AI right there. You can just copy and paste it here. You don't need to go to ChatGPT or do anything. So that's the use of AI to create SOP faster. We have discussed so far 6 tools: Tettra, Trainual, ClickUp, Monday, Notion, ChatGPT, and Loom to create and manage SOP. We have discussed 2 tools dedicated for SOP creation. One is Tettra and another one is Trainual. We have discussed 3 tools which are used for managing SOP, at the same time managing your tasks, which are good. They are ClickUp, Notion, Monday. We have used 2 AI platforms, Loom and ChatGPT, where you can create SOP, though Loom is not a dedicated AI platform. We have shared tips on how to use AI for free and paid to generate SOP on ChatGPT or even from Loom. And for us, we are Camel Tech, and we help businesses to build scalable, replicable, and predictable system. If you are a founder and want your business operations to be audited and get free suggestions that you can implement, you can visit our website and send a message. We'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks for your patience. So that's all for today. I hope this video is helpful. If you find it helpful, please share with other people. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.